Hello student, today we'll see calculation to generate square wave with timer 1. In earlier lecture we have studied control register for timer 0 and timer 1. T1 con is timer 1 control register. We have to configure T1 con register from SFR. We can upload count value into T1 con register. RD16, if it is 1 then it use 16 bit data. If it is 0 then it will break this count into 88 bits. Unimplemented, that's why I taken as a 0. Then T1 CK, these 2 bits for prescaler. Now I don't want any prescaler, so I choose 00. Then I'm not using any external clock frequency. I'm using internal clock frequency, that's all threes are 00. This is for external oscillation enable. If it is 1 then it enable the external clock. If it is 0 then it shut off the external clock. Synchronization, if it is 0 then it will be ignored. Here if it is 1 then use external clock frequency. If it is 0 then it use internal clock frequency divided by 4. If it is 1 then we have to give external clock frequency using function generator or clock pulse generator on RC4 or T1 oscillator, that is clock input timer 1 or clock output timer 1. Then I have to turn on the timer, so we have to keep this bit 1 because we have to turn on the timer 1 for the delay generation. So the count will be 0 cross 0 1. Now we want square wave with frequency 2500 Hertz with crystal frequency 10 megahertz. So we have to do some calculation. F oscillator is equal to 10 megahertz divided by 4. Why 4? Because the machine cycles are 4. So internal clock frequency is divided by 4. So time will be 1 upon F. We know the relation between the time and frequency is vice versa. So we got 0.4 microseconds. Square wave of 2500 Hertz, it gives the 400 microseconds time. So your count will be, after calculation, count will be 500. So it is 16 bits. That's why we have to take a 2 raised to 16 is 65,536 minus 500. It will give hex value. This hex value we have to store into TMR1H and TMR1L. Now we will see C language program. Now I want to show the square wave on port B first pin. Port B first pin. So I have to define one variable port B bits dot RB1. Now our main program will start. Trace bits dot trace B1 is equal to 0. What is mean by it? I already explained that if you are assigning 0, that means that port or pin single bit will be output. You are assigning it is as a output. You can interface LED or you can see on oscilloscope the square wave generation. Then I want continuous square wave. So the while 1 is continuous looping. Now my bit is toggle with 1, it gives with time delay. Here it called function T1 delay. In T1 delay function I have to write down a subroutine. In that subroutine we have to call this T1 con as a 16 bit without prescaler, so count will be 0 1. So earlier we have already calculated these two count. Then now I have to turn on the timer. In earlier lecture I have explained that in this register, in this SFRs, each bit is bit addressable. Single bit we can set or reset. Here I have set this bit, turn on the timer. Now while PIR1 bits.tmr1if, this bit from PIR1 interrupt register, this bit is from PIR1 interrupt register. What it does, it observes the overflow. If the overflow is there, when it starts from 00 to this count, if it goes, the count goes beyond this value, it will raise the count. If it raise the count, raise this flag, it reset the timer. It reset the timer and reset this count. Stop the timer. Again it reload this count and it will start once again. So first we have to check the loop. If it is 0, then it will stop the timer over here. It will hear this instruction, it will observe this. If it is 00, then it stop the timer, then again it makes it 0 and your loop will continue. Thank you, student.